My name's Don, and the reason that we're in therapy is I really love my kids, but I can't take it anymore. The fighting has just gotten insane, and my son Ben, I almost hit him last week, and that scares me. So I knew we needed some help.
Hi, my name is Angela. I am the mother of Ben and Heather. And since Don and I got divorced last year, apparently Ben has had some issues, and from what I've heard, the family life just has kind of fallen apart, and I don't know what's going on. I don't know why my ex-husband is having so many issues with the kids. Everything was fine before the divorce, but I'm concerned. It seems like there's some issues that need to be resolved, and I'm glad that they're all going to get help.
Hi, my name is Heather, and I'm the youngest child in our family. We're here in therapy. Things have been a little bit stressful lately. I feel like my relationship with my dad has been really good. It's always been good, but my relationship with my brother Ben has just been really crazy lately, and it's just put a lot on our family.
My name is Ben. I'm here at therapy because Donald, my dad, just said to go. I guess it's just another punishment. I don't know, it seems like everything I do is wrong, and my sister and I can do the same thing, and I'm the one who gets in trouble for it. So, I don't know, that's why I'm here.
Well, it's one thing to talk about the relationships in your family, but I think what might make this a little bit more clear is to have you guys reenact a scenario that typically has happened in your family, an argument that's happened per se, and this will kind of help me see the family dynamics at work. So, Ben, what's something that's happened lately, or an argument perhaps that you've had with a family member?
The other night, I got home from my buddy Paul's place. It wasn't late, it was like 2:30, 3 in the morning. Park in the driveway, leave a little room so someone in the garage can get out. If they can't, I always leave my keys right by the front door. Come in, go to bed, wake up the next morning like 6:30. Heather's there pounding on my door, yelling at me to move my car.
Okay.
I say, move it yourself. The keys are right there by the door. No.
Okay.
No. She makes me get up.
Okay, so why don't I stop this right here, and I actually want you to, Heather, Ben, to reenact that fight for me.
Okay.
Why don't I have you guys start from the point where you were pounding on his door, he woke up, and that's where the conversation started.
Okay.
Well, you said...
Move it yourself.
Okay, move it yourself. Go.
I said, no, I have to be at school. It's not my responsibility to move your piece of shit car.
I just got in bed. I mean, I just yell, move it yourself.
Whose
Tell her
fault
where the
is
keys
that,
are.
that you decided to go to bed at
Ben, I'm
6
tired
a.m.?
of you coming home so freaking late at night. Your sister has to get up to go to class in the morning.
I
It's
sleep
not
later,
appropriate.
I sleep later, I work later, I stay out later. I still
Yeah,
have a job.
all
I still
hours
get
of the
things
night,
done.
all over town. We don't know where you are.
So, Don, what if I were to tell you that I'm going to give you permission to not get involved in these arguments? I'm going to give you permission to be a parent. Remember we did our genogram, right? Mm-hmm. We had the parents at one level of the hierarchy, and we had the kids at the lower level of the hierarchy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you out of the role of having to get in the middle of their argument, and I'm going to have you stand back and be a parent. I'm going to give you permission. I'm going to give you freedom not to have to participate in this. And we'll see how that feels. It might feel a little weird at first, so are you willing to try it?
I'll try.
Okay. So what we're going to do this time is we're going to reenact the same scenario, but in a different way. So first, Don, I'd like you to trade places with your son.
Okay.
Okay. We're going to have you guys have a dialogue here, back and forth, kind of like we just did. And you identify something that you need from the other person, okay? And Dad, We get to sit back and watch this, okay?
Okay.
All right. So, ready? Action.
I feel like, you know, I'm just worried about you, and I just, you know, we miss you. Me and Dad, we're always...
Hold on. Talk from you.
Okay.
Talk from you.
I miss you, and I just don't really feel like you've been very available in our family. And this argument that we just had, you know, it's just one little example of the bigger picture of you not being available and not really respecting me.
You know, I guess I don't like getting woken up when I just fell asleep, but that's a small part of it too. I guess, yeah, more importantly, I need you to back me up sometimes, sis. Like when Dad's getting on my case and you walk by, like you just immediately jump in on his side, and you never back me up, and I could use that.
Okay. Well done. All right. I'm going to ask you guys, how did that feel? And how is that different from the first situation? Ben, let's check in with you.
It was weird just getting to talk to her without yelling.
Incredible how that works. Heather, what was your take on the situation?
It was nice. I felt really, you know, like he listened to what I said and was really present and felt like a real conversation.
Okay. Now, Dawn, appreciate your patience in watching this. Was that difficult for you to watch without trying to...
Yeah, I definitely felt like Heather wasn't getting a chance to say all the things that she needed to.
Okay. Why don't I have you comment on the interaction between the two of them? What did that feel like to you?
Better than it's been in a long time.
Diane, let's talk about strategic family therapy today.
That's a therapy that came out of the work at the Mental Research Institute in Palo Alto, I understand.
Oh, okay, in California.
In California. And it seems that the therapist is not so much interested in helping family members gain insight into their problems as it is in helping them change the behaviors that relate to those problems. At least that's my understanding of it.
And that's mine too. Insight and really understanding and family dynamics and making sure that the family understands those dynamics is just not a part of this approach. The therapist gives directives or gives assignments with hopes that it'll force the family to change behavior. The therapist might use things like paradoxical intentions or other such strategies to bring about a change or a removal of the symptom. It's my understanding that it's a briefer therapy, and one that I guess the thought is that the ends seem to justify the means that are used.
About that again, you know.
I see.
I know if he's going to think about it, he might. I don't know, but
So if you had a sense that some of the things you said weren't going into a sort of out into space, into a black hole, that they came back to you.
I think that when it calls for a lot of reflection, that Alan is overwhelmed, and I don't think maybe he really does think about it. I think that means what he's really saying is, I need some space now. This is getting a little uncomfortable, and I don't think he's really going to think about it.
I see.
And
So you feel it may get dropped at that point?
Yeah.
That's certainly a concern.
Well, I don't know of it ever to be brought up again.
I see. You know, one philosophy is if it's not broke right now, we won't fix it. The other is it doesn't have to be broke to improve things. And I kind of got a sense, but I wanted to check it out with you, that you more operate in the second category, that there's a chance to improve some things, particularly since you've gotten through a period of stress.
Right.
And we have a luxury of kind of reflecting on things. Suppose, though, as a part of, you know, any time you do some improvements, it's a matter of some things having to get, you know, there's a bit of disruption. You know, I don't know, just give an example of getting my floors done. It means that I have to live with a lot of mess with the hope that that's what you've got to do to get your floors done. I'm wondering if you would be interested in thinking about the relationship the same way, that you'd be willing to have some of these incidents occur. In your case specifically, incidents in which we looked for the opportunity for you to be upset about something, and for you to announce that you were being upset, you weren't asking him to solve it, and you were hoping they wouldn't take it personal, and we were able to focus on those things and maybe even not go out of our way to avoid them. Would that be would that be an okay way to proceed?
I think so.
If things are at a stage right now, you'd be willing to add that
Yeah.
to your life?
Yeah. I think that happens anyway.
Sure. And for his part, if he had something, comparable that he wanted, again, I can't second guess him, you'd be willing to endure some
Sure.
episodes or incidents you otherwise wouldn't be having.
Right.
All again with the idea that if things aren't broke, we can still work on improving them.
Yeah.
I wonder then if it's okay with you, I'll talk to him a bit.
Okay.
And I can't, foresee exactly what we'll talk about, but it might come down to me proposing at the end when I talk to the three of us, some episodes that we look for, collect, even look forward to, in the sense or opportunities to make these improvements.
Okay.
What if I could sort of start fresh and just ask, how do you see the situation right now?
Which one?
As a couple?
I think overall we're in pretty good shape. We've been through a lot, and we've gotten through it. I think we've just, we're kind of settling in, I think, really. Fine-tuning, I guess, is where we're at.
That certainly fits with what I just heard. And it sounds like there was a period maybe in which things were a bit more hectic, stressful, and somehow you found the resources to deal with that, and we're coming in on the heels of that rather than trying to work our way out of that. And one thought is if it's no longer broke, don't fix it. Not even clear it was broke, but it sounds like it was stressful. The other thought is, well, this could be an opportunity to have a focus on improving things, even if they're not in bad shape. And if we had that in mind, what might you want to improve?
I don't know, hard questions.
Sure.
I think that sometimes when we do have disagreements, we kind of reach this, I don't know if it's an emotional block or some kind of communication block where we can't seem to get through to the other person. And I think that I am too keyed into Hugh's feelings and how they affect me, and I'm not able to get past that and think about my own feelings. I think so often how I feel is based on how he feels. And I think that can be a problem. I can't free myself of that. If he's in a bad mood, then I have to fix it. I'm kind of a fixer.
Okay.
I always find problems and figure a way to solve them.
So if he's having a bad time of it, even if it's not personal, it can become your bad time, but at least something you have to do something about.
Right.
Can you think of any time recently, even if it was a small matter, doesn't have to be a big one, if it's a big one, that's fine too, in which that came up, a specific example? Can you think maybe a recent time where he was a bit moody?
Yeah,
out of sorts?
he's pretty moody pretty often.
So we wouldn't have to wait a long time for that to happen.
Yeah, no, nothing really specific. He just might get bent out of shape because I don't know, he got a spot on his shirt or something. That's not a good example, but I feel like I have to fix it, and I feel overburdened, and then I think sometimes I get resentful because then I end up doing more than maybe I think I should. But I don't seem to be able to control that.
Now, one solution, even if an unrealistic one, would be that he never got upset again. We probably can't count on that one.
I'd like that, though.
Certainly you'd like him to manage it a bit more.
Yeah, he expresses his anger freely, which is probably good, because I don't. And, I mean, I feel fairly certain of why I don't. I grew up in a very angry, horrible household, so I don't like, anger.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get rid of it.
Is there a way, aside from any changes he might make, that it could get a bit more comfortable that from time to time he got angry? Are there things he could say so you wouldn't have to take it so personal or feel you had to fix it?
I don't know. He's, in the past he's told me that it's not, that I don't have to fix it. It's okay for him to be that way. I think I get so uncomfortable being in that presence that...
it's just maybe at a visceral level of just reacting.
Yeah, it's something that's really, I can't really control at all.
Mm-hmm.
It's very overwhelming. It's very uncomfortable. It's all I can think about. I can't seem to get beyond that until it's passed. And so I've tried to, step back and wait for it to pass, knowing that it doesn't involve me. It's not really about me, all of those things. But that's a hard thing for me.
Are there any things that he can do that make it a bit easier? Like, can you think of an example where he was out of sorts and it didn't become your problem?
Hi, my name is Janetta Roman. I'm a therapist here at Grace Center. Thank you for coming in. You are?
I'm Kimberly.
Hi, Kimberly. May I call you Kimberly?
Mm-hmm.
Aaron.
Aaron. May I call you Aaron? And you are?
Ann Christine.
Ann Christine. Nice to have you.
Alyssa.
Alyssa. Okay. So who brought us all here together today?
I did.
You did? Okay.
There's just been a lot of tension between my daughter and his daughter, and we were hoping that we could get that fixed.
Okay. All right. Aaron, why do you think that we're here today?
I would agree. There's, in the blending of our family, which has been fairly recent, tensions between the daughters have been really high, especially since they're the same age and running the same circles. They were friends before we started dating and then got married, and so it's caused a lot of strife in terms of bringing us all together.
Okay, so why do you think we are here today?
Well, me and Dad thought it would be a good idea, and so did Kimberly, because apparently Alyssa and I haven't been getting along, but I mean, they're not really thinking about this. It would be super hard for you to have to move in with your best friend and share your car with her. So, I guess
takes all my clothes and stains them.
Okay, I was about to ask you, Alyssa, why do you think we're here today?
I mean, there's obvious tension, but yeah, we were good friends, but we are terrible roommates. It's not working at all.
Okay, all right. How were things in your home before you got married to Aaron?
Well, I lost my husband about 4 years ago, and Alyssa was pretty close to him as a father also, and it was kind of hard being on our own, but we were managing, and Alyssa and I have always had a pretty close relationship. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
How were things in your home before you and Kimberly got married, Aaron?
Well, things were fine, since Aunt Christine's mom left. That was a very hard transition, her exiting and kind of not really being a part of our lives anymore. It took us a while to work that out. She had been close to her mom, and so that was really hard for both of us to process. And so I felt that we were able to work through a lot of those issues, and we're kind of hitting our stride, I guess, when my life changed, and then tensions kind of rose back up again.
Okay. And how old were you?
When Mom left, I was 10.
You were 10. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. And you guys are how old now?
16.
16. Okay, so 6 years. All right. What about you, Alyssa? How old were you when your dad passed away?
Well, I just turned 12.
Just turned 12.
Yeah.
Okay. So you were 4. All right. Now, whose home did we move into, or do you have a new, is there a new home, or?
Because my job allowed us to have a little higher standard of living, and they have moved in with us.
Okay.
And so we're blending that. So we're looking to buy our own home, because that's been harder on the family, but we've only been married for 9 months, and we're still trying to get to a place where we can negotiate all that.
Okay, all right. So do you each have your own room, or you're together?
Right now we have our own room, so that helps a little bit, but I had a car before and Alyssa didn't, and so now I'm expected to share my car and to share all of the other things from my home.
They share a bathroom, which is probably as bad as sharing a bedroom, I think.
It's worse.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what kind of car do you have?
Just a Honda, a regular little car.
Okay. Thanks, school.
You know what? We couldn't afford a car, and that we can't even talk about that right now. I couldn't get her a car. Get your own car. Get a job.
Okay, and quit high school? Is that really what you want
No,
me to
I
do?
don't want you to quit high school, but you could work on the weekends.
We can look at
And
getting,
then get a car when I'm like 30. Thank you.
we can,
Sure.
once we get a new place, we can see about maybe getting a car.
Then how are we going to afford a car payment on top of a house payment?
We'll find a way.
So are you staying home, or are you working now, or you stay home?
I stay home.
Okay. Okay. Did you work before you guys got married?
Yes.